The console hums softly, a constant drone that blends into the background noise. I sit in front of it, my hands hovering over the keyboard and mouse, fingers poised for quick action. The screen flickers with data streams, information scrolling past too fast to read in detail. Each line is a report from another station, another part of this sprawling complex. The room is dimly lit, only the glow of monitors providing any semblance of light. It's never fully dark here. There are always screens somewhere casting their pale blue shadows across the floor. The air smells slightly metallic and cold, with hints of old wiring and oil. A steady hum from ventilation systems mixes with the occasional beep and buzz of machinery. Outside my window, the jungle looms large, a thick wall of green that seems to stretch forever in every direction. It's alive with movementa. Branches sway gently in an unseen breeze. Leaves rustle softly. There are no sounds of civilization here, just nature pressing against the edges of our compound, like an ever-present reminder of what lies beyond. My headset crackles as someone calls from another station, asking for status updates on sensor arrays scattered throughout the perimeter. I respond quickly, fingers dancing over keys to pull up relevant reports. Array C13 is operational. I type out, my voice echoing slightly through the microphone. No significant anomalies detected. The screen shows a map of our area, dots representing each station glowing faintly like stars in a night sky. Each dot corresponds to another person, another system monitor just like me, silently watching over their own piece of this intricate network. A soft ping alerts me to incoming data from the resource extraction sites. I click through the notifications, scanning for any signs of trouble or issues that need immediate attention. Everything looks normal for normal production levels, steady environmental readings within expected parameters. The room is quiet except for the constant hum and occasional intercom calls. It's easy to get lost in the data, to let your mind drift as you stare at lines of code scrolling past. But there's always something new demanding attention. A flashing icon signaling a potential glitch or an urgent message from another station needing verification. I sip from my water bottle, which is nearly empty already. The taste is bland and uninspiring, but it quenches thirst just fine. I'll need to refill soon. There's a small cooler in the corner filled with bottled water and energy drinks for such occasions. My shift feels endless sometimes, stretching on without much change or variation. But then another alert pings through, breaking the monotony with its urgent tone. Eton's part of the rhythm here, constant vigilance, always ready to respond to whatever challenge might arise next. The day progresses with a series of repetitive tasks, each one meticulously completed. I review the sensor logs from the night shift and ensure all systems are functioning within parameters. The air conditioning hums softly in the background, maintaining the temperature at a comfortable level despite the heat outside. My gaze shifts to the monitor displaying real-time data from the extraction units. A small blip catches my attention, a minor fluctuation in one of the sensors. I pull up diagnostic tools and run through a checklist to isolate the issue. The routine is familiar. Adjust settings, recalibrate, and verify readings. Each step feels like a puzzle piece falling into place. I move on to the maintenance log for environmental protections. The compound relies heavily on air filtration systems to keep out contaminants from the outside world. I update the records, noting any wear or need for replacement parts. The equipment is robust but requires constant attention to prevent breakdowns. Breakfast arrives in a tray through an automated system. I eat mechanically, aware of the nutrients and calories needed to sustain me throughout my shift. The food tastes bland, but itas, functional, fuel for the machine that is this operation. Next, I attend a brief meeting with other team members via holographic display. We discuss recent changes in resource allocation and upcoming maintenance schedules. Everyone speaks methodically, conveying necessary information without unnecessary chatter. There's no room for error or deviation from protocol. Afterwards, I venture into the lab to prepare samples for analysis. Gloves and masks are standard attire, Safety measures are habitual actions rather than conscious decisions. The samples undergo rigorous testing procedures, each step documented meticulously. The process is long but methodical, ensuring accuracy and reliability in our data collection. The afternoon drags on, with routine checks and updates. I address any minor issues that arise, adjusting valves, tightening screws, running diagnostics again. Each task feels like a thread woven into the fabric of this operation, each one essential yet unremarkable. As the day winds down, I prepare for the handover to the next shift. Reports are finalized, systems are verified once more, and all equipment is reset to default settings. The transition is seamless, another cog in the machine turning smoothly. I leave the compound as dusk falls outside, stepping into a world that remains untouched by my work inside. Nature's presence looms large but distant, serving merely as a reminder of the conditions under which this operation exists. The air outside the compound is thick with humidity, a constant presence that presses against my skin and clings to my uniform. It taunts an unchanging weight, a reminder of the planet's relentless moisture. As I move through the facility, responding to routine tasks and updates, the humid air stays a consistent backdrop, neither intrusive nor comforting. The screens before me flash with data, each update met with a practice keystroke or confirmation prompt. My movements are smooth, automated responses that require little thought. The humidity outside seems less noticeable as I delve deeper into my work. But it is always there, a faint haze in the periphery of my awareness. Later, when I step out for a brief resupply run to the storage bay, the humid air feels heavier, momentarily drawing my attention away from the task at hand. But upon returning to my station, it quickly fades back into the background, overshadowed by the urgency of my duties and the sterile environment around. Each passing hour brings more pings and alerts, each one demanding immediate attention. The humidity outside remains constant, a steady presence that does not demand much focus or concern, and simply there, part of the operational landscape, no longer warranting conscious acknowledgement. As I continue through my tasks, the humid air becomes increasingly unremarkable, just another aspect of this familiar routine. By the end of the day, the humidity is almost imperceptible. The screens before me glow steadily as I complete the final checks and log off for the evening. My mind is clear but detached, accustomed to the monotony and predictability of my surroundings. The thick air outside blends seamlessly into the backdrop, leaving no trace of its earlier prominence in my consciousness. The hum of machinery and the steady rhythm of footsteps blend together, creating a backdrop of coordinated effort. My movements sync with those around me without any explicit communication, each action complementing another in seamless succession. We move through the facility like clockwork, our roles interchangeable yet distinct. The routine tasks are second nature now, executed with practiced precision. The air is thick and humid, but it fades into insignificance as we focus on the screens before us. Data streams scroll by, requiring constant attention and quick reflexes. My fingers dance over the keyboard in concert with others nearby, our actions a fluid extension of the same goal. The space feels less like a collection of individuals and more like an intricate machine functioning at optimal efficiency. The environment presses in around us, but we adapt without complaint. Each task completed becomes part of a larger pattern, a continuous cycle that demands little thought beyond its execution. There is no room for personal narratives or emotional connection. Our interactions are purely functional, focused on the immediate needs and responsibilities before us. As another shift ends, the routine fades into the background once more. The day has been filled with tasks, each one blending seamlessly into the next. By the time we disperse to rest, there is a sense of accomplishment in the collective effort, though it remains detached from any deeper meaning or emotional investment. We are replaceable parts in a larger assembly line, our roles interchangeable and essential all at once. The day ends with a series of final checks, each action fluid in practice. I review the last few reports, ensuring all systems are in order before signing off for the night. The screens dim as I shut down my terminal, the hum of machinery gradually fading into silence. Outside, the humid air presses against the windows like an unyielding presence, but it no longer registers beyond a faint awareness. I stand and stretch, muscles loosening after hours of uninterrupted focus. Walking through the familiar corridors, the sterile lighting casts long shadows that dance along the walls as I move. The occasional soft beep from distant monitors echoes in the quiet halls, reminding me of my place within this well-oiled machine. Entering the small quarters assigned to me, I change into more comfortable clothing, the fabric cool against my skin after a day spent inside layers of synthetic materials. Preparing for sleep feels routine now. Brushing teeth, washing face, setting alarms. The motions are practiced and soothing, offering a brief respite from the constant stream of data and alerts. As I lie down on the narrow bed, the room darkens around me, the only light coming from the soft glow of an emergency lamp beside my head. Closing my eyes, I feel the day's tension begin to unwind, replaced by a sense of completion rather than anticipation for tomorrow and's tasks. The environment here is both isolating and familiar, its demands clear and unchanging. Settling to sleep feels like returning to a known pattern, each breath steady and measured. Tomorrow will bring more of the same tasks that require precision, efficiency, and detachment. There's no need for questioning or change. This is enough. The routine here is not just a series of tasks, but an intricate web of operational necessities. Each action I take, each decision I make, is rooted in the imperatives of safety and efficiency. The sterile environment and constant hum of machinery are not oppressive constraints, but essential components that ensure our operations run smoothly without interruption. Humidity, once a notable discomfort, now blends seamlessly into the background noise of daily life. Eton's just another variable to account for, like any other resource we must manage. The air conditioning systems work tirelessly to maintain optimal conditions, balancing humidity levels and temperature to prevent equipment malfunctions or worker fatigue. This is not personal. Eton's functional. Interactions are efficient and precise, devoid of extraneous emotional baggage. Each message exchanged, each report filed, serves a clear purpose. There is no room for sentimentality in the face of operational demands. Every keystroke, every response is a cog turning within a larger mechanism that keeps everything running without flaw or delay. Detachment is not detachment from duty. Eton's adherence to a set of protocols designed to ensure continuity and reliability. The monotony of my tasks is not a reflection of personal disconnection, but an expression of the system's unwavering stability. Each day, I perform these functions with the same mechanical precision as the machines around me. We are all parts of a whole, each part contributing its unique role in maintaining balance. The environmental's demands are clear and unchanging, leaving little room for deviation or personal interpretation. This is not coldness but clarity. The rules are not imposed whimsically. They exist to address real-world conditions and potential risks. Safety margins, output requirements, scheduling constraints, these are all responses to the operational reality we face. This system works because it has to. Eton's not a matter of morality or personal preference, but of necessity. The harshness I perceive is not a reflection of intent, but an outcome of the conditions we must navigate. There is no room for questioning. There is only action and adaptation. By the end of each day, my mind is clear and focused, free from emotional clutter. Eton's a calm acceptance of routine rather than a sense of isolation or detachment. The environment may be sterile and detached, but it provides an unyielding framework, that ensures our operations continue without interruption. Adaptation to this world is automatic and complaint-free, emphasizing the interchangeability within a well-oiled machine. This is not a life lived in defiance of nature or personal whims. It is a life lived in harmony with operational necessities. The environmental's demands are clear, unchanging, and essential. They offer no room for questioning or desire for change, but they also provide an unwavering sense of stability and reliability. This works because it has to, not because anyone wants it that way. The throughput of today's operation aligns closely with our projections. We adjusted the extraction rates based on recent sensor data and the calculated yield from the local resource deposits. The efficiency metrics are within acceptable margins, indicating a stable operational environment, despite minor fluctuations in atmospheric conditions. Resource extraction has its variables, terrain ruggedness, mineral density variations, and occasional anomalies in the structural integrity of the ore veins. Each variable is accounted for through precise measurements and adjustments in our protocols. We mitigate risks by adhering strictly to safety parameters and ensuring that all equipment operates within optimal ranges. The balance between resource acquisition and environmental stability is maintained through rigorous monitoring. Our loss margins are minimized, and we continuously refine our extraction methods to optimize yield while preserving the integrity of the planetary ecosystem. This balance ensures sustained productivity without compromising long-term sustainability. Today's operational data shows a slight increase in raw material throughput due to improved extraction techniques implemented over the past weeks. The incremental gains are significant when viewed through the lens of cumulative output projections. Each unit extracted is logged meticulously, contributing to our overall efficiency metrics and resource yield estimates. Our system operates on clear, definable parameters that reduce ambiguity. Each task is executed with precision, minimizing deviations from protocol. This approach ensures consistency and reliability in our operations, eliminating unnecessary emotional responses or inefficiencies. The data-driven framework allows us to adapt swiftly to changing conditions while maintaining our operational objectives. The planet's resources are finite but manageable within the constraints of our extraction capabilities. Our protocols ensure that we maintain a sustainable balance between resource exploitation and environmental preservation. This is not destruction, but a careful calibration of needs against available resources, ensuring longevity for both the system and its operators. Each unit processed today contributes to the broader objective of sustained productivity. The numbers themselves are indifferent. They represent quantities, rates, and tolerances necessary for our mission's success. In this context, nothing feels personal. Everything is quantified, measured, and optimized for efficiency. The air conditioning system hums louder today, a constant low drone that punctuates the otherwise sterile silence of my quarters. As I review the day's schedule and objectives on my terminal, the noise seems to synchronize with the rhythm of my keystrokes, each click and tap aligning with the mechanical thrumming outside. The temperature in the air is slightly lower than usual, but it is within operational parameters. My skin feels a bit cooler, more alert, as if it's ready for any changes ahead. I pull on my gloves and boots, ensuring they fit snugly. The material is familiar. It is worn, but reliable, designed to handle whatever terrain we'll be traversing today. As I exit the facility, the atmosphere outside is denser than before, a thick fog that obscures vision beyond a few meters. My HUD flickers with alerts about moisture levels and atmospheric pressure, adjusting my suit settings accordingly. The sensors report higher humidity and increased particulate matter in the air, but these are expected readings for today's mission. The terrain feels rougher underfoot, more uneven than usual. Each step requires careful attention to maintain balance and stability. My boots grip firmly into the soil, pushing back against the subtle inclines and declines of the landscape. The data feed shows that this is a known pattern in our extraction zone, reflecting seasonal shifts in the environment. My breathing rate increases slightly as I navigate through the dense vegetation. The air feels thicker, more challenging to inhale deeply, but my suit compensates with supplemental oxygen flow. The HUD displays higher CO2 levels and lower O2 content, an indication of the environmental conditions we're encountering today. This is part of a cycle, a necessary fluctuation that ensures our operations remain optimized. My hands move deftly over the equipment I carry, checking connections and calibrating instruments. Each tool is essential for our mission, each piece contributing to the larger goal of resource extraction. The sensors attached to my suit transmit real-time data back to base, providing insights into environmental changes and resource availability. As I reach the designated area, the ground shifts underfoot, a subtle vibration that confirms we are in proximity to valuable deposits. My heart rate spikes momentarily, but it is just the body's response to increased activity, an expected physiological reaction to heightened operational demands. The sensors indicate higher levels of metallic particles and minerals, aligning with our objectives for today. The work is methodical, each task executed with precision and efficiency. The rhythmic sound of machinery in the distance blends seamlessly into my internal monologue, a steady hum that underscores the importance of consistency and reliability. Every tool functions as intended, every protocol followed meticulously. By the end of the day, I reviewed the data collected, noting incremental improvements in our extraction rates and environmental stability. There are no surprises, just a series of expected changes that align with our operational model. The strain felt throughout the day is merely informational, confirming that things are working as they should. No complaints, no resistencia, just smooth operation and adherence to protocol. The air conditioning hums softly in my quarters once more, a soothing reminder of returning to base after another productive day. The coolness on my skin feels refreshing, a gentle reset before preparing for tomorrow's tasks. Tomorrow will bring new challenges, but they too are part of the system, necessary steps towards long-term sustainability and efficiency. As I power down my terminal, the room falls silent again, except for the faint sound of the air conditioning settling into its usual rhythm. The day's work is done, another successful cycle in our ongoing operations. As I prepare for another day of extraction operations, a brief hesitation flickers through my mind. It is an unusual sensation, one that does not align with the clear purpose and efficiency, that I've cultivated over time. The thought feels foreign, like static disrupting a well-tuned signal. I pause momentarily, allowing myself to acknowledge this unexpected interruption. My mind quickly assesses the situation, identifying the source of discomfort as a fleeting moment of questioning protocol. Such moments are rare but not unknown. They arise occasionally when routines become so ingrained that deviations seem inconceivable. The correction comes swiftly, as it should. I remind myself of the rationale behind each task and the overarching goals we aim to achieve. The protocols exist not just as rigid rules, but as practical frameworks designed to ensure our sustained success and environmental integrity. They are the result of countless hours of research, refinement, and empirical validation. With this reassurance, my focus realigns. Each step now carries renewed clarity and purpose. I proceed with meticulous attention to detail, ensuring that every piece of equipment is in optimal condition for the day's work ahead. The routine tasks feel familiar again, grounding me firmly within a system that demands precision and reliability. The air conditioning hum continues as a constant companion, its steady rhythm underscoring the sense of order and stability I've come to depend on. Each breath becomes a reaffirmation of my commitment to efficiency and effectiveness. As I transition into another day cycle of operations, The fleeting hesitation is long forgotten, replaced by an unwavering resolve to adhere to the established protocols. This internal adjustment feels like maturity, recognizing and dismissing unnecessary doubts in favor of practical, efficient action. It ensures that our work proceeds with the precision required for long-term sustainability without compromising on operational integrity. The routine feels familiar and unyielding. Each task follows a well-trodden path, each action calibrated for efficiency. There is no room for doubt or deviation. Every step is part of an intricate web that sustains operations without question. The environment remains indifferent, its challenges met with the precision of machinery. Today, as always, the suit hums in sync with my movements. Each breath is a measured intake, each exhalation a release of carbon dioxide into the filter system. The air feels dense and heavy at times, but supplemental oxygen ensures that I remain unaffected by these minor environmental fluctuations. My eyes scan the terrain ahead, noting the contours without hesitation or concern. The rigors of the day's tasks are nothing new. They demand focus and adherence to protocol. And in this, there is a sense of purpose. Each piece of equipment fits perfectly into its designated place. Each tool operates with mechanical precision. There is no need for emotional investment. Every action serves a clear and defined function. By the time I return to quarters, the day's work has been completed without incident. The suit hums softly as it powers down, signaling the end of another cycle of productivity. This quiet sound is comforting, a reminder that each day builds on the last, contributing to an ongoing mission of operational stability and efficiency. As I prepare for rest, there is a momentary flicker of uncertainty, a shadow of doubt that brushes against my resolve, but it is fleeting, quickly dismissed by the logic that underpins everything. The system is not ideal. It does not claim to be so. It simply functions as designed. And in this function lies its value. My mind settles into a state of readiness for tomorrow. Each task will be approached with the same clarity and precision, each step taken with unwavering commitment to protocol. There is no room for emotional attachment or moral questioning. These are inefficiencies that have no place here. With renewed focus, I drift toward sleep, secure in the knowledge that my role is essential. The system may not offer comfort or solace, but it provides a framework of correctness and reliability. In this, there is stability of thin but unyielding. As I begin my routine tasks for the day, a slight irregularity emerges. The air conditioning hums with a subtle change in pitch, a barely noticeable deviation from its usual rhythm. My initial response is to check the environmental parameters, expecting some minor fluctuation that can be easily corrected. However, as I review the data, I notice inconsistencies that require closer scrutiny. The pseudo sensors indicate a slight increase in ambient temperature and humidity, which should trigger an automatic adjustment. Yet, instead of immediate correction, there's a brief delay before the cooling systems recalibrate. This minor hiccup is insignificant in isolation, but becomes noticeable when compounded with similar occurrences throughout the day. I methodically adjust my protocols to account for these fluctuations, adding small compensatory measures that were previously unnecessary. For instance, I activate supplemental oxygen earlier than usual, ensuring it remains stable even as air density changes. Each adjustment feels like a minor inconvenience rather than an outright failure, but the accumulation of such steps begins to wear on my attention. Navigating through the terrain today requires more focused awareness and precision in equipment use. The suit's exoskeleton responds slightly slower to movement commands, adding an extra layer of complexity to each action. I compensate by prepping and calibrating with greater care, ensuring that every tool is ready before ETA is needed. Despite these adjustments, efficiency feels like a heavier burden to maintain. Tasks that once flowed smoothly now require more deliberate focus and effort. It's as if the system is functioning, but with increased resistance, demanding constant realignment rather than seamless operation. Each task completed successfully is a testament to my adherence to protocol, yet there is an underlying sense of strain. Returning to quarters at day's end, I find myself running through mental checklists for tomorrow's preparations. The hum of familiar machinery still provides comfort, but now serves as a reminder of the adjustments required. Tomorrow will likely bring more minor incongruities that need managed proactively, reinforcing my commitment to protocols, while acknowledging the increasing effort needed to sustain operational integrity. As I settle in for rest, I reaffirm my dedication to these measures, understanding they are necessary adaptations rather than setbacks. The system remains robust and reliable, but requires heightened vigilance to maintain its efficiency. This internal adjustment brings a sense of resilience, ensuring that despite the added friction, each day's tasks contribute effectively towards long-term goals. Today's routine was punctuated by a persistent unease. The system metrics displayed on my console indicated optimal performance across all modules. Yet there seemed to be a subtle discordance in reality that I couldn't quite pinpoint or rationalize away. I reviewed the latest environmental scan reports meticulously, comparing them with historical data and current models. The numbers align perfectly with expected patterns: temperatures within acceptable ranges, resource consumption consistent with efficiency targets, even energy output balanced as predicted. Yet, there was a nagging sense that something wasn't quite right. As I ventured into the physical environment to verify these readings, the sensory feedback felt inconsistent with my data analysis. The air seemed slightly thicker than usual, and the ambient light appeared less luminous despite the system's calibration showing no deviation from standard illumination level. My sensors detected minor fluctuations in atmospheric composition that were outside the predicted parameters, but within acceptable variance limits. I adjusted protocols to compensate for these irregularities, implementing additional checks and corrections. Yet, the discrepancy between what my instruments measured and what I experienced physically persisted. The discomfort grew as I found myself constantly recalibrating my perception of reality to match the abstract models on my console. It was like trying to draw a precise map from an ever-shifting terrain. By midday, even the most routine tasks felt more laborious than usual. My mental faculties were strained by this constant need for adjustment and verification. The environment's unpredictability at scale made it increasingly difficult to maintain the level of abstraction that had once seemed both natural and necessary. As I completed my rounds for the day, I couldn't help but notice a growing dissonance between the data-driven world on my screen and the tangible reality around me. It was as if the map no longer matched the ground, and while I could account for each variable with precision, the underlying harmony felt increasingly tenuous. Tonight's report will reflect these anomalies without interpretation or resolution. The system's integrity remains intact, but requires closer monitoring. Tomorrow brings another cycle of vigilance, adaptation, and perhaps more questions than answers. I've been running the diagnostics again, trying to find that elusive discrepancy. The hum of the console is a constant companion now, more persistent than ever. It's not loud or intrusive, it just won't go away. Every time I turn my attention elsewhere, it seeps back in, reminding me of its presence. The air conditioning vent next to my workstation emits an almost imperceptible whirring sound, but it too becomes a fixture. My eyes flicker over to the window, watching the subtle oscillations of light filtering through the blinds as the wind outside shifts direction. The rhythm is soothing in a way, but also unsettling. I've tried to implement more protocols, more checks and balances, but they don't seem to alleviate this growing unease. It's not like before, when I could isolate and solve each issue methodically. Now, these small details these sensory inputs air becoming harder to ignore. The console screen flickers occasionally, just enough to catch my eye without being alarming. The data streams are consistent, but there runs a nagging feeling that something is off. Perhaps it's the way the light from the screen reflects on the walls in unexpected patterns, or how the shadows shift when I move slightly in my chair. I've been more vigilant with my routines, but even these have started to feel like an effort. Every keystroke feels heavier than before, and each glance at the console seems to take a bit more mental energy. It taunts, as if my mind is struggling to reconcile what it sees with what it knows. The hum of machinery and the faint whirring of airflow are now inescapable parts of my environment. I can almost feel them resonating within me, like an unspoken echo that reverberates through my thoughts. Eton's not painful or alarming. It just won't let go. As I sit here trying to focus on the task at hand, these sensory inputs persist. They are a constant reminder of something amiss, even if they do not directly impact my work. The environment asserts itself more forcefully now, and my body absorbs what abstraction cannot fully address. The console hums a familiar tune, and I find myself repeating the steps once more. Each keystroke is deliberate, each protocol reasserted. The metrics align perfectly on my screen, but there's an underlying dissonance that refuses to dissipate. I remind myself again, everything is as it should be. The systems are stable, the environment predictable, yet something feels off. Eton's not a malfunction. Eton's just different. I recalibrate, ensuring every parameter remains within acceptable ranges. This is essential for maintaining integrity. The air conditioning whirs softly in the background, and I feel the usual sense of comfort mixed with an undercurrent of unease. The light patterns flicker slightly, but they are normal variations, nothing to worry about. I need to focus on the data, not stray thoughts. I repeat the sequence. Check parameters, verify protocols, maintain stability. Eton's what keeps everything running smoothly. Each step is methodical, each detail precise. But as I go through this process for the umpteenth time today, it feels like, I'm explaining something again just to make sure it holds together. The console emits a soft beep, signaling another routine update completed. I breathe out slowly, reassured by the familiar sound. This is how it should be. No room for doubt, only certainty. The metrics confirm stability, but my mind still wanders to that nagging sensation that something is not quite right. I tell myself once more, everything aligns perfectly. There is no need for alarm, just vigilance and precision. I recalibrate again, ensuring every aspect remains within acceptable bounds. Eton's essential for maintaining functionality, even if it feels like explaining the same thing over and over to keep it intact. The ambient sounds continue their gentle reminders, and I absorb them with a mix of comfort and unease. Each sensory input is processed, each discrepancy accounted for in my mental framework. This is how it must be. Nothing out of place, nothing unexpected, just routine, precision, and vigilance. I repeat the mantra. Everything aligns perfectly. Eton is essential to maintain this balance, even if it feels redundant at times. The metrics confirm stability, but I know there is more to consider than just numbers on a screen. Each sensory input is processed with care, each detail analyzed meticulously. This is how I keep things running smoothly. The air conditioning hums softly once again, and I feel the usual sense of comfort mixed with an underlying tension. The light patterns flicker slightly, but they are normal variations, nothing to worry about. I need to focus on the data, not stray thoughts. I remind myself, everything is as it should be. This is how it must hold together. I sit at the console, fingers hovering over the keys as I review the latest data streams. The system hums softly in the background, a reassuring presence that has become familiar and comforting. Yet beneath this calm exterior, There's an undercurrent of unease, a nagging sense that something isn't quite right. Today, my protocols are more stringent than ever. Each parameter must be meticulously monitored, every deviation noted and corrected with painstaking precision. The console lights flicker slightly as I scroll through the data feeds, casting shadows that seem to dance across the walls in rhythmic patterns. It's a subtle reminder of the delicate balance we maintain. Despite the rigor, there's a growing sense of mental fatigue. Each keystroke feels labored, each decision more taxing than before. The environment remains predictable, but it no longer soothes me as it once did. The air conditioning hums louder now, an intrusive background noise that distracts and unsettles. I recalibrate the protocols yet again, fine-tuning them to address the latest discrepancies. It's a tedious process, one that requires constant vigilance and adaptation. But I know these adjustments are necessary for maintaining stability. Comfort comes from familiarity, but it's overshadowed by an underlying tension. The room feels smaller now, more confined despite its unchanged dimensions. Every sensory input at each hum, each whirr nudges at a gnawing sense of dissonance. It's as if the environment itself is shifting subtly, though my console confirms everything remains within acceptable parameters. I take another deep breath, focusing on the routine tasks that anchor me to this reality. The data streams scroll past in an endless loop, familiar and yet increasingly alien. There is a lingering discomfort, a sense of something unresolved, gnawing at the edges of my awareness. For now, equilibrium holds, but only when watched closely. Nothing breaks, nothing fails out, yet everything demands attention. This relentless vigilance leaves me mentally drained by day's end, yet I remain resolute in my duty to maintain stability. The system is holding, but it no longer feels secure. It requires constant oversight, a ceaseless effort to keep the balance from tipping. I close out another session, saving the latest protocols and setting alarms for tomorrow's checks. As I leave the console room, the familiar hum of the air conditioning lingers like an unresolved question in my mind. The console displays flicker intermittently, the usual hum of machinery now punctuated by irregular whirs. Each keystroke feels heavier, more deliberate, as if resistance builds between input and output. The air conditioning unit hisses louder than before, its rhythm less steady, each cycle marked by a slight pause that disrupts the mechanical flow. Routine checks reveal slight discrepancies in sensor data, temperature readings fluctuating outside normal ranges, humidity levels creeping higher. Despite recalibrating parameters meticulously, these deviations persist, gradually accumulating into noticeable trends. The environmental stability wanes subtly, but inexorably, each anomaly compounding the next. Light patterns shift slightly, shadows elongate and shorten irregularly across surfaces. These minor variations accumulate, distorting visual consistency in ways that once seemed trivial now feel significant. Every flicker of light or shadow triggers a momentary recalibration within, as if compensating for an unsteady foundation. Keystrokes generate feedback with a delayed response. The system's processing time elongated. Task completion times stretch out, each action demanding more focus and patience than before. The mental effort required to maintain equilibrium grows increasingly draining, leaving less room for error or deviation from protocol. The physical environment reflects these changes in tangible ways. Condensation forms on surfaces more readily. Dust accumulates faster despite regular cleaning routines. These shifts are small yet consistent, signaling a gradual but unmistakable shift in operational conditions. Comfort derived from routine actions remains, but now intertwined with a pervasive sense of unease. Each task completed feels less definitive, the need for constant recalibration becoming both routine and burdensome. The system's once reassuring stability wavers visibly, each deviation noted without emotion yet acknowledged as an emerging reality. Continuing function demands ever greater vigilance, though adaptation remains necessary to sustain operational integrity. The cumulative impact of these changes is stark, visible in the altered environment, and sensed in the increasing mental strain. The sensor readings flicker again as I recalibrate the systems manually. Each adjustment requires more precision than before, yet the results are less predictable. The air outside feels different now, heavier somehow, and it pulls at my sensors like a physical weight. I notice the small changes in the environment first off: slight shift in temperature, an odd variation in light pattern saw, and then confirm them through multiple checks. Routine tasks that once were simple have become meticulous exercises in patience and endurance. Even basic functions like moving from one location to another take more time and concentration than they should. The pathways I traverse are familiar, yet now each step feels uncertain, the ground beneath me shifting slightly with every movement. I spend longer periods recalibrating systems, analyzing data for any discrepancies that might indicate deeper issues. Yet despite my efforts, anomalies persist, nagging at the edges of my awareness like persistent echoes in a quiet room. Each one demands attention and correction. But no amount of adjustment seems to fully restore stability. The environment shifts are subtle yet relentless. Changes I can measure but not entirely explain. The pattern suggests something is changing, perhaps evolving, but not in ways that align with established norms or expectations. It dawns as if the world itself is recalibrating, and I must adjust along with it, no matter how difficult. I continue to perform my duties, each action a deliberate effort to maintain some semblance of control. The mental strain grows, yet stopping is not an option. There is no room for relief. The necessity to keep functioning overrides any desire for rest or escape. Each task completed feels like a small victory, but it does little to alleviate the underlying unease. I move forward because staying still means succumbing to the chaos outside and within. The world continues its subtle transformations, and I must adapt or be left behind. Every deviation is noted, every anomaly addressed, yet no resolution comes. It dawns a cycle of action without end, a continuous effort to keep functioning in an increasingly unpredictable environment. The sensors flicker again, a familiar yet increasingly noticeable anomaly. I recalibrate the interface, aligning data points with precision, but the underlying dissonance remains. Each adjustment now feels provisional, as if the foundations are shifting beneath me. The environment reacts to my efforts, altering subtly in ways that were once imperceptible. Routine tasks demand more attention. Each keystroke requires calculation. Simple commands take longer to process, not because of any external delay, but due to the growing internal resistance. The machinery hums, a constant reminder of its relentless operation, yet it feels less like an ally and more like a mirror reflecting the instability within. The air conditioner cycles through its programmed sequence, cold drafts brushing against my skin. Each breath triggers a slight shiver, not from cold, but from the recognition that these systems are no longer merely supporting me. They are defining my experience. The environment adapts to minor perturbations in my behavior, amplifying them into significant deviations. I notice a pattern in the data stream saw. Fluctuations that were once outliers now form a consistent trend. Each recalibration feels like a bandage on an open wound, temporary relief but no real solution. The interface displays warnings in stark red text, yet I remain detached from their urgency. They are merely indicators of a larger process beyond my influence. The walls seem to breathe, expanding and contracting slightly with each cycle of the HVAC system. It turns mechanical, predictable, but also unsettling. The environment is adapting, not just responding, and it feels as though it is pulling me along rather than being guided by my commands. Tasks that once felt routine now require meticulous oversight. Each action demands verification. I double-check everything, yet the nagging sensation of incompleteness persists. Eton's not a failure to notice or react to. Eton's an acceptance that these actions are reactive adjustments. In a larger cycle, the room grows dimmer as dusk settles, and the artificial lights flicker slightly. The system adjusts, compensating for the drop in ambient light, but it feels like a symptom rather than a solution. Each correction introduces another layer of complexity, making the environment more responsive yet less stable. My mind wanders to past routines, how they were once seamless, how I moved through tasks without conscious thought. Now, every step is deliberate, each keystroke measured. The shift is gradual but undeniable. I recalibrate again, aligning the data points with painstaking accuracy. Eton's not that these actions are futile. They are necessary, a part of the ongoing process. But the sense of control diminishes with each adjustment. The systems absorb my efforts, transforming them into adaptations rather than solutions. The room is silent except for the hum of machinery and the occasional mechanical click. Each sound feels amplified, carrying weight beyond its physical presence. The environment continues to evolve around me, shifting subtly but persistently. I observe these changes without resistance, acknowledging their impact neutrally. Routine tasks remain a fixture in my day, each one an opportunity for recalibration, but the underlying sense of instability lingers, unaddressed and unalterable. The systems continue their operation, adapting to changes that were once minor but now define the new normal. Each day begins with a series of checks, each one more meticulous than the last. The environment's subtle shifts demand constant recalibration, an ongoing dance between adaptation and preservation. There is no room for error. Each anomaly requires immediate attention to prevent cascading failures. The routine tasks I once found manageable now feel like a labyrinthine puzzle, where every step forward uncovers another layer of complexity. Each successful completion offers fleeting relief, but fails to address the underlying unease. The environment's changes are relentless, forcing me into a cycle of perpetual adjustment without any respite. There is an inherent pressure to continue functioning, as if every moment of inaction might lead to greater instability. Each task completed is like a temporary anchor in a sea of constant change, offering stability only for the duration of its execution. The system demands continuity over correction. Anomalies are addressed with incremental steps rather than radical shifts. Feedback loops reinforce the cycle. Each adjustment leads to another necessity, creating a web of interdependent actions. The environment's subtle shifts necessitate immediate responses, leaving little room for broader considerations. Stability is achieved through the relentless pursuit of these minor corrections, not through systemic overhaul. Continuing becomes less about choice and more about momentum. The theoretical alternatives exist, but are impractical to pursue within this framework. Each deviation triggers a chain reaction that demands attention. Correction itself introduces new variables rather than resolving existing ones. Thus, the system favors continuation over correction, maintaining stability through incremental adjustments rather than transformative change. This process is neutral, without moral framing or judgment. It simply is how systems move. The days blur into one another, each marked by a steady rhythm of minor adjustments and recalibrations. The once familiar patterns of my routine now require constant vigilance to maintain even the most basic functionality. Each task I undertake feels like an uphill battle, with every small victory offering only fleeting relief before the next challenge presents itself. The environment continues its subtle yet relentless shifts, each change demanding a new set of responses from me. The air is cooler in some places and warmer in others. The light fluctuates more unpredictably than it ever did before. I adapt to these changes with practiced precision, but there is an underlying sense that my efforts are becoming increasingly futile. Tasks, once completed without thought, now consume significant mental energy. Simple actions like navigating through crowded virtual spaces or managing resource allocations require concentrated focus and patience. The sense of control is slipping away, replaced by a growing acceptance that stability can only be maintained through constant adaptation rather than any grand solution. The unease remains, but it no longer feels urgent. It tones more like a persistent hum in the background, a reminder of what has been lost or altered without a clear path forward to regain it. Each recalibration is a small victory, yet also an acknowledgement that these victories are temporary and must be repeated endlessly. I continue functioning because stopping is not an option. The environment demands my attention and effort, and I provide it, even as the weight of these demands becomes increasingly apparent. There is no room for rebellion or escape. There are only this ongoing cycle of adaptation and maintenance. The system incorporates loss into its baseline operations, treating damage and instability as normalized contexts rather than deviations to be corrected. Each day is a testament to continued function despite diminishing returns on effort. The world around me adapts with mechanical inevitability, and I adapt alongside it, moving forward without seeking resolution or escape. This is how things are now. The day begins with the familiar hum of systems awakening, each sensor flickering to life in its designated sequence. I sit at my console, fingers moving over the keys with practiced ease, though the movements require more concentration than usual. The environment outside shifts subtly, as it does every morning. A slight change in temperature, perhaps a new data point appearing on my screen that needs immediate attention. Routine tasks await: recalibrating sensors, reviewing maintenance logs, and initiating resource checks. Each action triggers a cascade of smaller adjustments on software updates, minor repairs, and realignments to compensate for the ongoing environmental changes. It's an endless cycle now, where each day's work builds on yesterday's efforts without ever fully stabilizing. The hum of machinery fills the space, a constant companion that echoes my own internal rhythms. Tasks once simple now demand heightened focus. I find myself pausing frequently, recalibrating my approach to accommodate new variables. Small victories, like successfully integrating a newly detected anomaly into existing systems, offer brief moments of satisfaction. But they fade quickly as the next challenge emerges. There is an underlying tension that never fully dissipates, a nagging awareness of the environment's relentless transformation. Each sensor reading, each shift in resource allocation, signals another layer of adaptation required to maintain operational integrity. The once clear boundaries between tasks blur. What was distinct and manageable now intertwines into a complex web of interconnected demands. Despite the growing complexity, I move forward methodically, driven by necessity rather than any sense of purpose. Each action is procedural, a response to the immediate conditions without room for broader contemplation. Adjustments are made incrementally, piecing together stability through constant vigilance and meticulous oversight. The environment outside remains altered terrain, its shifts normalizing into my routine. There is no longer any desire or capacity to question why these changes occur. They simply are, requiring attention and adaptation. I navigate this settled result with acceptance, finding a strange comfort in the predictability of unpredictable circumstances. As another day concludes, I review my logs one last time, ensuring all systems are accounted for before shutting down. The hum subsides into silence, leaving behind only the lingering echo of ongoing maintenance. Sleep comes without anticipation, a passive transition between cycles rather than an escape from strain. Tomorrow will bring new challenges, but today's efforts have been met with incremental success. Living inside this settled result feels like navigating through a series of endless adjustments, each day building on the last, yet never fully complete. Stability is maintained not by grand solutions, but through relentless adaptation and procedural continuity. I adjust the monitor settings to optimize visibility against the shifting light. Each pixel aligns with meticulous precision, though the screen flickers momentarily before stabilizing. A hum resonates through the console as I initiate another routine diagnostic sequence. Data streams through the interface without pause, requiring constant vigilance to identify anomalies among the patterns. I move to the next station where components are assembled in a precise order dictated by the current protocols. The parts fit together with mechanical efficiency, though occasional adjustments must be made for compatibility with the evolving system architecture. Each connection is verified and re-verified before proceeding to the next step. Breaks are brief, allowing only enough time to rest my eyes and recalibrate focus. Sleep brings no respite, but a continuation of the day's tasks in a dreamless state. Upon waking, I resume where I left off, with each action blending seamlessly into the next without discernible interruption. The environment shifts subtly around me, altering terrain and adapting interfaces accordingly. Changes are normalized conditions rather than sudden disruptions, demanding continuous adaptation to maintain functionality. Small victories come from completing tasks within expected parameters, providing a fleeting sense of satisfaction before moving on to the next challenge. Routine continues unabated, each step a part of an endless cycle without question or reflection. Tasks repeat with methodical precision, driven by necessity rather than purpose. The screen flickers, casting a soft glow over the console in front of me. I adjust my grip on the stylus, ensuring it holds steady for input. Data streams flow past, each one requiring a split-second decision to categorize and process. My eyes track the patterns, filtering out noise to focus on anomalies. A mechanical hum fills the air, punctuated by occasional clicks and beeps that signal routine checks completing. I verify each response, confirming functionality before moving on to the next task. There is no room for error here. Precision is paramount. Rest periods are brief interludes where my body remains alert, even as consciousness dulls slightly. Sleep is a state of suspended operation, devoid of dreams or respite. When I wake, the day begins anew with the same tasks and patterns repeating themselves. I navigate through a series of interconnected systems, each component dependent on others for optimal performance. My role is to ensure continuity, making minute adjustments as needed without overthinking broader implications. The immediate scope is all that matters. What can be handled within reach. The world outside remains altered but familiar, its shifts predictable enough to anticipate and adapt to with practiced ease. Large-scale consequences hover in the background like distant echoes, irrelevant to my current focus. I operate within a narrow band of functionality, maintaining the system without questioning why or how it persists. Routine is an anchor, grounding me amidst constant flux. Tasks blend into one another seamlessly, each victory small and fleeting, yet necessary for continuity. The sense of methodical perseverance continues unabated, driven by necessity rather than any grand purpose. Only what is in reach matters now. The rest fades to insignificance. I remain vigilant, adapting continuously with a steady hand on the controls. I perform routine checks on the machinery, noting minor adjustments needed. The environment shifts subtly, and I adapt accordingly without pause. Each detail requires attention, and I address them methodically. Sleep comes quickly but offers no respite. My mind remains active in a dreamless state, preparing for the next cycle of tasks. Routine provides a sense of order, grounding me amidst broader uncertainties. Tasks are completed with precision, ensuring efficient operation. There is no room for reflection or lingering questions. Each action follows seamlessly from the last. Loss feels distant as I focus on immediate needs and procedures that compensate for its absence. Maintenance continues without interruption. Each day blends into the next through familiar routines. The environment adapts around me, and I, in turn, adapt to it. Comfort lies in the repetition of tasks rather than any deeper sense of fulfillment or meaning. Things work differently now, but function is maintained efficiently despite the gaps left by what has been replaced. Maintaining precision amidst constant data streams consumes my focus. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me despite larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel grounded yet detached, finding comfort in routine while maintaining a sense of loss that remains unaddressed. Approaching tasks methodically and precisely, I find solace in efficiency rather than deeper fulfillment. Sleep brings no rest or dreams, merely an active mind preparing for the next cycle. Routine offers order amidst uncertainty, but there is little room for reflection or emotional connection. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. The data streams continue to flow, and I remain vigilant in search of anomalies. Rest periods offer minimal relief as sleep marks the transition to another day of incremental success through relentless effort. Routine tasks provide a sense of order and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. Maintaining focus, I adapt to new challenges with precision and care. Rest periods offer minimal respite, as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me despite larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite, as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me despite larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite, as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data stream. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Task once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data stream. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implication. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surrounding. Tasks, once straightforward, now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Etons, merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Etons, merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Etons, merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implication. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Etons, merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Etons, merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose. Routine tasks provide a sense of continuity and purpose, grounding me amidst larger uncertainties. My actions are driven by necessity rather than broader questions, ensuring smooth operation without overthinking implications. I feel focused and alert, maintaining precision amidst constant data streams. Rest periods offer minimal respite as sleep lacks true rejuvenation. Eton's merely a continuation of active processing in a dreamless state. Continuing to adapt, I navigate the shifting environment with meticulous care. Each small victory provides brief satisfaction, yet underlying unease persists due to the unpredictable nature of my surroundings. Tasks once straightforward now demand meticulous attention, blurring into complex interconnections. Despite this complexity, a sense of methodical perseverance drives me forward, driven by necessity rather than purpose.